Hi everyone, back in my dress. This is day 2. You can see the sideboard's gone behind me. I'm all done with the sideboard. I finished that yesterday. So today it's about just finishing the mirror. So the mirror is going to be a super quick and easy project. It's not going to be as involved, but I am going through and painting and changing the base colour. So this is previously white chalk paint. And I'm going to be painting it in Old Espresso. So I've got 2 brushes for this. I've got my Star Mister size 20 because it's quite a big piece, and then I've got a smaller pointed tip brush just to kind of get into all the detailing. So this part's probably not as interesting. I'm going to get straight into it because I've got a parent-teachers thing that I've got to go to today. So I'm going to quickly put a base coat down, and basically you just go for it. So you can kind of see there, Old Espresso is a really lovely earthy colour, and I'm actually going to be using Marco Bronze again, the Marco Bronze glaze, and this is probably a really great way to show you what it's capable of. I mean, I've used it in a different way on the piece of furniture. I've used it more to age and give it a little bit of a luster and a bronzy hue, but with this one, it's got such intricate detailing on this mirror. And now with today's paint finish, what I want to do is bring out that detailing more. It's quite exotic. It's quite an exotic style mirror. I liken it to quite a Balinese type style. And I want to make this one a little bit more dramatic on the wall. So all I'm doing is going through and painting, as you can see, just an Old Espresso. So I'm going to go through and finish my coat of Old Espresso. I probably only do 1 coat. I don't mind too much if a little bit of the white kind of comes through, so just to make it super quick and easy. It's a big mirror, so quite a bit of surface area, so I'm going to go through and paint it all, and then I'll jump back on camera and show you what I'm going to do with the Marco Bronze. Okay, so the mirror's now been painted in Old Espresso. It's looking very lovely and earthy, and now I'm going to start detailing the mirror and sealing it. So I have my spalter brush. I have here my Marco Bronze glaze, and I've just poured it out onto a palette just so it's easier for me to grab. And I've put the mirror upright just so I can see. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up my Marco Bronze glaze and just basically brush it over like so, spreading it out really thin. It needs a little bit of air time, so you want to brush it backwards and forwards like that, and just kind of work it. As it kind of dries, it'll become quite sticky. You can feel it as you're brushing it out, and then that's when you kind of want to just leave it. I'm not going to rag this one. I'm just going to lightly brush it all over. And this is going to basically seal it. It's going to give it a lovely soft bronze hue over the Old Espresso. And then I'm planning on just using a little bit of Milan Moon Shadow as well, just to give it a little bit more oomph. So super simple, just basically using my spalter brush and brushing it out. With the glazes, I think it's really important to have a spalter brush, because it does kind of just move the product, really, really easily. It allows better control. And if you are doing, it doesn't matter so much on this because it's got a lot of beautiful kind of detailing on it. But if you're working on flatter surfaces, you want, to be able to spread it out for more of a flawless finish. So this just allows me to kind of work it, brushing it backwards and forwards. And it's a semi-transparent bronze, and there's lots of different ways that you can use it, but this mirror, I've chosen to use it on this mirror because it's kind of the look that I'm going for. So you can still see the old espresso underneath, and the two together work really beautifully. I could also use it over a completely different colour and it would give me a completely different look. So colour pairing is quite important with the glazes. And often I always feel like with the glazes, I mean, they're really being designed for you to layer. So, I mean, the more you layer, the more complex the metallic finishes and the more depth you get. And the more kind of character and interest you can create. It's a lot of fun. And you don't use that much really. You just pick up a little bit and just spread it out and let it do its thing. A little bit of a tongue tie there. So that's kind of it there. So you can see that's my Marco Bronze metallic glaze over old espresso, and then down there is just old espresso raw chalk paint. So I'm going to keep going, and then when I go on to the next part, I'll grab the camera and show you what I'm going to do with the Milan Moon Shadow. So looking really lovely, and it should be nice, quick and easy. Okay, so now I've got my Milan Moon Shadow. Just going to give it a really, really good stir until it looks metallic-y. So you want to give these a super, super, super good stir because they do separate, and you basically want to see all the metallicness, all the metallic goodness come to surface. So there we go. So I'm just going to pour some out. Remember, you want to wipe the rims of these as well. Otherwise, they can be quite hard to open afterwards. So keep them nice and neat. And all I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some low lights. Just I picked up a little bit too much there. And I'm just going to spread it just kind of in the dips and spread it out and have it more subtle. So making sure it's a thin amount of product and just creating some shadows in there. I'm kneeling down as I'm doing this, so a little bit unbalanced. And then I'm going to go on the other edge as well. So this edge here, and the Milan Moon Shadow, and spread it out nice and thin. And then kind of feed it around onto the curve. And I'm going to make sure I spread it out really thin because I just want a subtle hue. I don't want the Milan Moon Shadow to be that strong. Like so. So I'll just go down and do this corner so you can see. So just a little bit on my brush and then spreading it out. And same there. Making it really soft and subtle. And I'm going to go in, oh, there. Hard to see while I'm looking through the camera while I'm doing it. So going through there, and maybe just in there a little bit as well. So really just having a play with the placement of my low light, and giving it just a little bit more depth. Making sure I spread it out really thinly. So you can see when I come back how it's created like a shadow through. Looking really lovely. So I'm going to go through and basically put my Milan Moon Shadow in there, and kind of blend it out in those areas and down that line, just to kind of shape the mirror a little bit. So I will come back and show you how that looks next. The mirror's hung up on the wall, super quick and easy process. And here it is, all done. So all hung up on the wall, looking completely different. You can see the Marco bronze metallic glaze kind of shimmering over the old espresso premium chalk paint. And I really love the Milan moon shadow, which is, you know, you can see in there, in there, in there, and around the edges, in the corners, just kind of framing it off and giving it that beautiful low light. The only other thing that I didn't capture, the only thing I didn't capture in the video is I ended up putting metallic glides in this bevel, this inside bevel, and bronzonite and forgotten gold, just to pop it just a little bit. But other than that, everything that you saw in the video is basically what I did on the mirror. So, you know, from a white mirror now to a bronzy hue type mirror, it's letting off a completely different vibe, and that's the power of transformations and paint and artisan paint finishes. So, you know, it can be really addictive because, you know, it doesn't take long to do a project like this one. And you can just paint and get straight into it, and the next thing you know, you've got something completely different that's changed your space. So, yeah, loving the mirror. It's exactly what I wanted and exactly what I was imagining. So I will take some photos and share them on the Artisan Company Facebook page as well. If you follow us there, there'll be another little video that I'll take and share on the Artisan at Home page. But yeah, lovely finish. The metallic glaze is really soft. You know, it's not a full-blown metallic. It's shimmery, and it's just really suits this mirror because it's got really chunky detailing, and I didn't want to like overly detail all of that busyness. So just a simple metallic glaze over it is all it needed to kind of create the look that I was after. So that's the mirror all done, and I will show you the sideboard soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.